off in a second here.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
To Recreational Outrage.
Recreational Outrage. Look me in the eyes.
It's super offensive if you don't stare into someone's soul when you cheers them.
That's the beginning of the outrage, I think, man. Like, that's where it starts.
Yeah. It's annoying, right? It used to be you just cheer someone, now you have to stare into their soul.
Yeah, it's like, it's almost like there's one where you go, like, you do the cheers and you go, like, off the table first.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know what that does.
Yeah.
I think you're just, like, adding things on to make it like you know something more than somebody else.
Why are people making drinking so difficult?
Yeah, you're making drinking and cheers like OCD style. Like, you gotta turn the lights off 5 times before you take a sip.
Speaking of drinking being not difficult, we're doing it before noon.
Oh, yeah, it's 4
we actually clock right here.
Yeah, I can see over there. Yeah. See that? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, hey, so this is our first podcast. It's technically sort of loosely called, I guess, Recreational Outrage, which I feel like it's going to be a hot, our theme.
Hot topic these
days.
It's
a hot topic, yeah, for sure. And it's a theme, I think, that we'll run through most of my life so far.
Mine too.
Yeah. So I think we're one and the same there. I'm Proctor. This is Mike Berard, for those who don't know anything about us or anything at all. So,
probably most of you.
Yeah. But anyway, we're starting a podcast. We've been talking about it for, I don't know, since before we were born, really. So we've talked about it for a long time. And I think, so this is our first one. We're starting it off. There's an agenda. I think it's loose, and it's kind of just floating around in the air. So,
now, this will probably be the worst. They'll just get better from here?
It might be,
or
yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe
I'm not even checking the audio. I did this recording because I feel like...
It looks good. You know, got this thing running.
The bars look sick, right? But I think there's little... You got to watch it when it comes to these little green bars here. When they go yellow, if you go like... It'll pop up, yeah. So, anyway. Yeah, so our first podcast. So hopefully it goes well because we want to keep doing it. I paid a lot of money for this setup here, so I don't know if
I didn't pay anything.
Yeah. But so here we go, Recreational Outrage with Mike Berard. And
what is Recreational Outrage?
I'm not even sure what the definition would be. I think it's like you're just being outraged for something to do. You're just bored in your life, and you're just mad that you didn't do something better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's where we're getting to is people need to get worked up all the time instead of, I mean, from being honest, just being quiet.
Yeah, I mean, somebody should start getting worked down, teach you a lesson, you know?
There's so much value in not talking.
Well, it's just like
here we are talking.
Yeah, it's like it's like someone's like you're at a light and someone's crossing the road slowly and you get mad at them, but they might have like a busted hip or something. You don't know, right?
Or they're just not in a hurry.
Or just being an asshole.
Where are you going?
Yeah, right. You should have left earlier.
So fucking important.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm looking for an aggressive audience, so I like the swear words, and I think being inappropriate is probably going to happen a few times, and. Sure. You know, disclaimer is that if you don't like what you're listening to,
tell everyone.
Yeah, tell everyone. tell everybody how much we suck. All publicity is good publicity, right? So, yeah, I guess this is our inaugural. I'm going to pronounce things wrong a lot, but this is our inaugural podcast.
Have you ever? Let me ask you. Let me just take the mic here.
Sure.
Have you ever used a word over and over for years in your life incorrectly and only to find out later that you were an idiot?
No, I haven't. No, I don't think so. Well, no, I thought Brutus the Barber Briefcase was the guy's name in WWF for a long time because he had a briefcase.
And what was his name?
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, right.
And he had the briefcase with his clippers in them.
Right.
And I thought it was briefcase for probably most of my childhood up until my brother was like, "You're probably the dumbest person I know. It's Beefcake," and it has been since he started.
So this guy was Beefcake, and his move was to emasculate you by
shaving your head. Yeah, shave your head. Yeah, and you would somehow like be so knocked out by his like slap in the chest that you could then all of a sudden just shave your head. You would nothing to do.
So, don't you think Beefcake has taken on a more homoerotic tone in
Beefcake?
Later years?
Maybe, yeah. I think Beefcake used to be like.
It used to be like, hey, that guy's a beefcake.
Yeah, kind of like a dummy, but a football player or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think there's dummy football players that are beefcakes, but I don't know. I haven't used that term much.
Are they as dumb as they used to be, football players? They feel like they're getting smarter.
They are getting smarter. Then they get dumber faster at the end.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, right,
real
which
quick.
Sucks. No one's thinking about that, right? I mean, they are thinking about it.
They are thinking. Everyone's known about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, if it's like a problem.
A lot of money, right?
Yeah.
A lot of money. Richest league.
It is, and I wonder. I like how they call it. I mean, this joke's been done before. But I like how they call it the world championship when you win it, but like you only play in America.
No one else wants to play it.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
everyone knows it's a fucking crazy sport to play. I mean, Canadians play it once in a while. We're just like have different rules, and
they're all American though.
Yeah, true. Which must be a kick in the pants. It's like the like below farm league to come to the CFL when you play in the NFL.
I heard they make like $60,000 a year or something.
Yeah, I googled it a few days ago. It's $40,000 a year as a base salary.
That's insane.
I mean, you only play what, like 10 games or something like that.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
It's like 80.
It's like $4,000 a game. It's not that much actually. For all the training you have to do.
How long do you think it lasts you put in a CFL game?
Oh. I don't even know. As a kicker. As a kicker? No, I don't. Well, that's not fair because half the time kickers can get work. You just be a shitty kicker, so I get kicked out right away. But if you, even just like as a running back or something, just one hit.
You'd get destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, like people I don't even know. I mean, it's probably getting hit by like a small cow at like half speed, you know? Like there's people that's like a huge hit, right? Like a medium-sized cow.
Yeah.
At a good clip.
It's like 300 pounds, 400 pounds.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's good stuff.
I don't know why the cow shapes like that.
Hey, going back to the word though, I did use this stupid word. That's why I brought it up.
Right.
So for years I thought I was we're getting used to the equipment here. For years I thought I was using the word worry, like dubious, like
dubious.
Yeah, like worry, like W-H. Sorry,
Oh.
W-A-R-Y.
Oh, okay, not like that.
I'm worried of Proctor's intentions here,
right?
You know?
Right.
But I was saying weary.
Weary means I'm tired and like yeah.
So and I was still an editor at the time. Like I was a magazine editor. This is back 10 years ago, and I would go into business meetings and say I'm weary of everything.
And they'd be like, "Well, why everything's?"
No one would say anything. Meanwhile, I would be saying something like, "Well, I'm weary of dealing with this advertiser." You know,
you're probably trying to say leery. I'm leery, and you just put like worry and weary together.
You know, combine that with my list and my general excitement that I get about me. I imagine they were always confused.
Yeah, but I think people are willing to just like nobody wants to speak up in case they're wrong. It's like, oh my god, this guy says the wrong word all the time. Maybe I'm wrong, and if I speak up, I'm gonna be like, no, actually, Dave, it is weary.
No one wants to be told they're using the wrong word or they've just butchered, like on Tommy Boy, he talks about, I could get a better steak if I stuck my head up butcher's ass.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Never punch a gift horse in the mouth.
I think I'd punch a horse in the mouth.
He'd break your hand.
He'd probably break your hand.
Yeah, they're strong.
Yeah. He'd be super choked and he'd chase you down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I grew up with horses.
Why would you punch a horse? I'm not saying
they're
I would.
Like big dogs. It'd be really mean.
Horses are amazing. I wouldn't punch a horse.
Recreational outrage. Don't punch horses.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
all the people that are out there punching horses, stop it.
And all you cow tippers, take a note from the non-punch horse punchers. Don't. I think you break some cows' ribs. I think that's like when you cow tip.
I would imagine you could probably cause some damage. Someone told me it's bullshit. A buddy of mine grew up in Manitoba, and he said guys would come up to his farm and be like, "They're gonna go push a cow." And he said, it doesn't happen. No one's ever done it. But bring this up in a crowded room, and someone in that room will tell you that they've done it, or they know a guy more likely that's done it. And the point is, it's all bullshit. It's show me. Let's go on YouTube. Can you see it on YouTube? If it's only
Google it.
Let's look it up.
I think that
if it's real, it'll be online by now.
If the cow saw you coming, he'd be like, "What is this?" He'd be like, "What are you doing?" And he'd like, "Boom!" He'd be like, "Ow! Why are you bumping into me?" You feed like 3 or 4 guys.
And also, cows don't hang out alone. So one cow lets all the other cows know. This is clear. Okay, is it possible to tip a cow?
Cows aren't communicating. There's a cow tipper about. They're just mooing.
Oh. No, so it says it's not possible to tip a sleeping cow.
Of course, on the ground.
Yeah. No, cows and horses sleep standing up.
Oh.
I do too sometimes.
Yeah. I'm going to keep this rolling.
Yeah.
Because, no, try and find a video. I know we can't show the video because none of our viewers care, but...
I don't know. I bet you everyone cares.
You probably got to fucking run at it.
Yeah. Well, then those aren't even sleeping. He's just going to try and tackle
this guy needs a video on how to video.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah, we're not watching that.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's a donkey.
This is something interesting. I don't know if anybody cares, but Mike and I went to Seinfeld last night.
At Jerry Seinfeld for those.
Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld talking engagement, and he. So at the Queen Elizabeth Theater, second time I've been, it was really good. It's an interesting crowd, eh? Like there's.
I got the feeling that they weren't fans of stand-up comedy. They were fans of Jerry Seinfeld, like pop icon.
Yeah, they're fans of TV, I think.
Yeah. I mean, this guy behind us, he kept bringing up Kramer or references to the TV show, but I think people nowadays or I'm not calling us younger, but like our generation is starting to learn that he's more than that. Comedians in cars getting coffee is showing like this whole other side.
Yeah.
His shoe documentaries. I'm telling you for the last time, all that sort of stuff. You get a much, you get a more complex view at him and his art, right?
Yeah, and you can understand that he's not just out there to really, he's out there to tell jokes, but also to craft this thing that he has like uniquely made in a sense for his own, in a genre of comedy. I mean, like I think he definitely has an ode to the past, and I think he just has like his jokes are so basically simple, but then he makes them so intricate and weaves them around so much that they're funny. But I think it's just the crowd just seems like it's maybe like we talked about this morning is like just an older.
He's definitely I think so. I mean, we were saying last night, like, do 20-year-olds care about Jerry Seinfeld? Do they laugh at it? Because that old school, like, it's funny because it's true. You know? Like the Homer Simpson,
right?
You know, we love that shit, but I imagine, like, you look at Theo Vaughn and these different stand-up comics now.
Oh my god, man!
It's so much more meta. You know, it's self-referential. It's weird. It's just bizarre stuff.
I think people tell a lot of more personal stories now, where Jerry just still does jokes, right? He'll say things that happened to him, but he won't be like, last week. He does it once in a while, but for the most part, he goes on. But when I think he's way more physical than when anybody pictured him.
Yeah, he was the dance. I thought he was going to rip his suit.
Yeah, and
if I move like that, I rip my suit.
You know what drives me nuts? I feel like whenever I've seen a comedian do stand up and they're wearing a suit, even if they're worth $1 billion like Jerry is, I feel like they need a better suit.
Yeah,
the suit comes like maybe because they're always sitting up so high because we get the shit seats, but I think the suits look like they're hanging off them. I just don't think like comedians.
I don't know. He's like, how old is he? 64.
He's like 130 or something. Yeah, I don't know. 65.
And so you look at John Mulaney when he gets on stage, he's sharp.
He is sharp.
He's sharp, right? And he's he's like 35 or something, right?
Yeah. And even Steve Harvey. I mean, that guy's notorious for his suits and his getup and stuff.
Yeah. But it's his own. That's his brand.
He crushes it, right? Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's old school comedians. But then you got like someone like Theo Vaughn. We talked about like with a mullet and like t-shirt and
the hairy donut. He's got the
he's got a goatee.
The hockey dad.
That's progressive. Is that progressive? He's got a goatee.
Well, if you live in Santa Monica like he does, and you're rocking a goatee and a mullet,
you stand out.
You're trying to stand out.
It looks like you live on the street. I think Leo looks like Theo. I think he looks like he lives on the street, but he's so funny, man.
He looks too healthy to live on the street.
Yeah,
he's got clear skin.
He does have clear skin. Yeah, anybody knows who Theo Vaughn is? He's hilarious. You can check him out on his YouTube channel.
Yeah. So if we do this. Is this next?
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
this is where there's like a link.
I haven't looked up there at all, man.
People like the link down here. You know, people do that.
Yeah, right.
It's stupid. I'm not going to do that. But just hey, what's our beer situation? Am I allowed to get up and get a beer?
Yeah, take your headphones out so you don't rip the whole thing off the counter.
So it doesn't ruin our flow, though.
No, because you'll see the fridge open.
Okay,
I think it's the way it goes. I'll just keep the.
I'm not going to do this unless we're drinking. So
yeah, keep going. So, we were talking about Seinfeld. So I think in just general. Obviously, he's in a different camp of comedians. He goes clean, which they say was no swearing and no vulgar language. And then he got heckled, and I thought the heckling was handled pretty well, but it wasn't a very good heckler.
No,
I mean, if you're going to yell out in the middle of 3,000 persons auditorium, which is a beautiful place, mother,
you better have.
Or would they yell out mama?
Yeah, your mama. But he was talking about. It was, what I think it was.
He was talking about why we have kids, and he was talking about how they. I'm not doing a shtick, but
she meant well. I think she was trying to say. He was saying, "How do we all end up here?
Your mother,
your mama, like praise to your mama and our mothers and all that."
Right.
But he was like, "No, just stop." I never said why. I said how. And I wasn't following him either. So maybe his fault.
Yeah, I mean, I just sniffled huge. It's gonna be a loud sound in the microphone. I think it's funny that people heckle. I just think like in that auditorium, I could see it happening in like a bar if you're drunk. But
would you heckle?
I don't have the.
You heckle in life.
I heckle things, yeah.
You're good at heckling
like
people on the bus and stuff.
Well, no, I don't heckle people on the bus. I mean, I don't go, hey, what's up, idiot, like on the bus, but off the bus, maybe I'll just see that guy.
Once they can't get back on the bus.
Yeah, once they can't hear me, I'm in safe to tell me. Do you see that guy? What's going on?
Silent heckling.
Yeah, I'm sure
we all do that.
Imagine you could. Actually, no, don't imagine that at all. It doesn't matter. But I don't think I could heckle a comedian. I think I'd be scared to get worked, and they'd look an asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
No. Yeah, exactly. What are you going to do? Try and take down a pro?
Yeah, like maybe I'd heckle an open micer who's been doing it for like a couple of weeks, so doesn't have the same fire.
He hasn't even got comfortable, so you can attack him.
And they got to learn. So I feel like I'm doing a service, I guess, at that point where you'd be like, hey, man, like, you got to deal with this, at least this.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good heckler, so if I'm a low-grade heckler and you're like a low-grade comedian, that's even, right?
Yeah.
If you're a really good heckler, like people who've like, I don't know if there's professional hecklers, there's got to be.
I think they're just called stand-up comics.
Probably just called assholes.
Yeah. Professional assholes.
Yeah, cowardly assholes. Maybe not, I'm not sure.
Oh, no, look, my beer's frozen.
Oh,
It's gonna make
well, because you put it in the freezer for too long.
Yeah. Oh,
too.
thank you.
Yeah.
I do this.
Yeah. Okay. I have another question or another topic to bring up, and it's I don't know what it is right now.
Is it?
What do you think of radio silence? That's
We need more of it. We need more of it.
I think everyone needs to be radio silent. What do you think of unpreparedness?
You know what? I did notice is when you hear radio DJs and podcasters, and you got someone like Howard Stern, right? And when he speaks to the mic, he's got this really kind of masculine, and it sounds really good. And now that I'm doing this, I kind of like it.
Yeah, but if you you could change the effect on your voice. I think if we did this properly.
I told you before I wanted it to be auto-tuned. I don't know why.
Isn't this auto-tune right here?
Auto-tuned.
Right. All right.
Like Little John.
This is a weird effect.
I saw Little John.
So did I. I met him here in Worcester. I gave him lift tickets to him and his family.
What you were saying though, that he wasn't little. It's not like he's wearing chains and he's got
no.
He's just
he
like
was
a regular
giving his son shit. His wife was giving him shit.
You showed me the photo. He looked like
he's got big eyes. He's
like a big nerd.
He's like a friendly looking guy. He's got dreads. He's super friendly. He's a fucking great guy. His persona on stage, I'm sure, is. I mean, it's obviously night and day from what he is in real life. Because he was a dude in sober. He's like,
you can't live like that.
He's wearing all Oakley. He's sponsored by Oakley. He's like, I go to things that Monster brings you around to, and Oakley pays me to be there and stuff. And I was like, cool. Here's your free lift tickets.
When I saw him, we were excited. We're like, it's a Little John show. We're in Vegas. Let's do it. We get there. It's a DJ set. He doesn't even say, yeah.
He just stands behind the DJ.
He was just DJing. And I was like, okay, well, that's not why.
What's the point?
Well, I mean, he's got other talents, but that's not why you.
No, you don't go see Little John to DJ. You see him to go, yeah. Like,
do you think he still says yeah like that?
I follow him on Twitter.
Does he say yeah on Twitter?
I don't pay attention to his tweets anymore, so I don't know. He says, I think he types yeah instead. He types what?
Does he need 2 tweets to get it out?
Yeah, he capitalizes it in 2 tweets. Yeah, the first tweet's WAHA, and the last tweet is T, and like 40 of them. But yeah, I met Little John. It was a really strange interaction, to be honest, but I think he's just a dude, just a guy. He's like, you think he's so bizarre on stage with the way he talks about the way he raps, but it's so simple and just like so like drinky and like frat style rap, I guess, or whatever you call it. And you see the guy, he's like, yeah.
Where do you think LMFAO is now?
What's LMFAO? Oh, they Party Rock. Yeah, right. Where are they right now?
Yeah.
Probably either
rich,
just basking in the glory of their money, or basking in the glory of their glory, and then just sleeping in their
rehab,
money.
Maybe.
Oh, rehab, yeah.
I'd end up in rehab.
I don't know. I mean, you think of like some of these people who are like Len or someone like just those one-hit wonders way back in the day. That guy's.
You want to know a story about Len?
Yeah, I do. I don't think anybody else does, but I do.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. If you go back and watch that "Steal My Sunshine" video, that was all over Much Music when we were younger.
Yeah. Mocha Only's in it.
Mocha Only's
yeah.
Right? But
right.
That Len guy, he took this is all hearsay.
He's rich.
When I was living in Toronto, someone told me this story, and they claimed it's all bullshit, probably. But this is what I heard. He was a respected DJ and music producer already,
right?
And he said, he's just scratching by like anyone else, and he was like, "No, look at these formulaic assholes out here making a living off music."
Right.
He's like, "Why don't I just do that? I know the formula. We all know it.
Yeah.
Let me make my money and then get out." So the story goes, he made that album, and he somehow got into a record label bidding war, and he jacked it all up. He made all that money doing Len.
And then
brought in all his friends. They tried to hire other people, and he said, "No, I'm hiring my friends, Mocha Only and crew." And they made that record. It blew up. He made all his money. He took it. He bought a beautiful house in Saint-Sever in Quebec, Laurentians, up on a hill. And my buddy Sebi knows, he's been to this guy's house.
Oh, yeah?
And he's like, it's beautiful, right?
Really?
So, but the part that I don't know if it's true or not, but I loved was that he manipulated it. He like purposely.
He worked it.
Yeah, he worked the system, got out, and now he just makes music for himself. And he doesn't give a shit about being famous. That is, when people talk about, I just want to be an artist and make my own music, I'm like, then why do you need so much recognition?
Well, yeah.
You can do it in your basement. You can do what we're doing here right now, and that's it. If you want the recognition or you want the money, then you can't whine about being the artist.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think
disappear and make art.
Yeah, I mean, but the Len thing's a bit different. I mean, that guy, it was about money. I mean, maybe I wonder if he liked that song. Do you think he liked it at the time? He just knew it was going to crush.
He likes it enough. If you wrote it, you have to like it. I mean, I doubt these guys.
Was it big outside of Canada? Was it big?
I doubt it. I can't imagine.
Oh, whatever. Fuck that.
Anyone out there listening from outside Canada?
Yeah, we got any callers? Yeah, anybody call? I don't even know my phone number. No one calls anymore. We got a text in here.
Okay, let's talk about that. Someone calls you. What's your first instinct? You see a phone call come in from the 80s.
The impact of the name is strong. Like, boom, like the first hit of the name of like who it is. You're like, okay. Then it's like a quick deciphering of how long do I wait till I answer if I want to make somebody think I'm not paying attention. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, it's cool. And then I have a level of stress of what they're going to want from me or what I'm going to have to get out of on the phone call.
Right. And how long it's going to take them to get to the point.
Even my best friends or parents, whatever, it's still like, I guess it's contextual if you know what they're calling about. Like, I want to give you $1,000. And they call you like, oh, great, thank you.
No, it's different. You're stuck somewhere and you're supposed to hook up. And you're all moving together on a road trip. And you're like, I just got to get this done. Right? I can't wait for him to check his phone. That's fine. But pitching by phone, like I'm a magazine editor, and pitching by phone, people still try and pull that off. People will pitch you in person, like.
What doesn't that
yesterday I was having.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yesterday I was having beers with a friend, and another guy came up, and he started pitching me while I was having a meeting with another guy.
I'm going to name a name after the show and see if I get it right.
Yeah. So, anyways, that stuff. So that's the telephone call of life. Is like trying to ask someone in front of someone else if you want to come to their party, or if you can borrow your skill saw, or whatever it is. Is don't put people on the spot, and especially if you're going to call someone, get to the point. Now, I know it sounds like a dickish thing to say, but just why does everything have to be on the phone?
To be honest, if I'm hammering back emails to people back and forth asking questions, I'm like, hey, I'll just call you.
That makes sense.
And I'm a bad for emailing. Like, I'll have thoughts, email. I'm like, oh, I have 3 thoughts, and I'll email 3 times rather than just wait for 3 minutes and email 1 time with 3 thoughts. And so I think that's where like a bit of wasted time there. But I think that talking to me is like an old school salesman kind of thing where nothing's on paper. You're making deals,
so yeah.
But as far as friends go and stuff, like I don't mind talking. I think I want to talk, and I'm on the phone. I'm like, I don't want to talk anymore. Like it's kind of like I do want to talk, and then I'm like, hey, we're done. Yeah. And I'm like,
you don't want, and then it's all chit chat. I don't like chit chat.
I don't mind it. Certain people I can talk to for a long time, but
so something that you'll see is PR agencies, right?
Yeah.
PR is just so polluted all the time, and so. Recently, I had at one of my other jobs, I had a run-in with Shell Canada where I called them out on Twitter.
You're calling them out right now, too. The worldwide podcast scene.
They tried to claim something as their own, and I called them out, and they don't answer anything. The PR agency is not going to answer you where you can take a screenshot.
Oh, no.
Or copy and paste or whatever. They want to get you on the phone.
Yeah, because
once you get them on the phone, I called her. I called the PR lead for Shell Canada.
Yeah.
We talked for a half hour, and she did exactly what they do, which is spin bullshit.
Right.
And in the end, I had no answers, and I couldn't prove it to anyone else. And that was the whole point, right? Like, I'm comfortable now knowing the truth that Shell was full of shit. But...
Clearly.
But I can't relay that to you other than just telling you now it's just my opinion. That's the brilliance of the phone, right? Unless you're going to record the phone conversations. Well, it's brilliant. It's the way to win. That's how you win.
I think it is. I mean, the phone's great. I think, there's clearly the issue of, lost in context. You send a text, you put an exclamation mark at the end of it or something like that. I think the thing yelling at them, you put a period. You think it's like being very abrupt. And I'm like, I read into things a lot. But if you're on the phone.
It's so sensitive.
Well, I'm not even going to take a note. So the thing that sucks is, like, if someone texts me or sends me an email, I can have it right in front of me. When I'm on the phone, I don't take notes. That way, when I'm actually done the phone call, I'm actually worse off than if the person just emailed me, even though I asked them to call me to talk it out.
No.
So I'm just, like, shooting myself in the foot.
But all of this is just to say there's too many ways, anyways, to get in touch with each other. Like, text should just be the one thing, right?
I guess so,
I like email, but I just mean, like, at my job, it's like you can be like, you got tweets rolling in, Instagram comments, Instagram DMs, you got your phone, all the bullshit, right? Yeah. And I'm just like, I find I have to shut everything off. So if you're shutting everything off and then you're doing the 4-hour work week trick where you check it twice a day, you know, it's an insane amount of messaging in your life.
Oh, man. I find if I don't check things right away, someone's going, hey, did you see that? I'm like, oh, man. Like, you know, social media stuff. Like, if you're trying to monitor social media and you say you got on a phone call for a 2-hour meeting, which is usually pointless, and then you go back and check Facebook and someone's been shitting on you for the last half hour, and you're like, and then someone goes, hey, how come you're not on this? I'm like, well, I was talking to another phone call that I have to take every 10 minutes. So it's just so you're inundated.
Does this count as recreational outrage? Like, is this like a rich upper class person thing to do?
Yeah, this could be situational outrage.
Situational outrage.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I think recreational, we're just mad about a situation.
Yeah. Or we just don't like our jobs.
I like my job.
I like my job too.
Yeah. I think my job's great.
Did you just wink at me?
No, it's not in my eye. No, I think I just got the job. It's great. I think it's awesome. I'm busy for sure.
Why do you tell people what you do?
Nah, we can talk about that after.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You give me like what is it? What's the date today? 6th?
6th.
Yeah, give me 11 days and we can talk about it. In 11 days, I'm going to find out what I do. You can just go online and Google me, I guess, and you'll see nothing. Yeah, I think it's funny though when you first start a job and you're stoked on it, and you're going, and then you're like, oh, it's good, I'm learning, and it's not really that stressful. And all of a sudden you hit that day where the switch flips, and you're like, okay, shit, it's like there's a lot, it's busy, a lot's going on.
I have a job,
and then you're in it, right?
Yeah. And
it takes like a week or two to catch up with that. You're like, okay, the impact of like actually, okay, now it's fucking chugging along here. We got to get things sorted out. And then so you're inevitably going to be a little bit behind, but I think that's where like that whole, I don't know if I believe that thing where someone's like, the first 3 months or first 6 months you're getting used to it. The first year you're kind of doing this, and then you don't really start to contribute for like a year and a half. Like that's pretty long drawn. Everyone's giving themselves a pretty good break.
I think that makes sense to me because I've had a lot of different jobs and I'm a serial quitter. Like, because, and I come in too hot, and I know that about myself now. I come in hot thinking that I do have a lot of the answers. Yeah. But you have to respect the form of where you're coming into. And you also have to respect the fact that there's other humans there. I can say that I've come into jobs and been like scared people because I'm just like, hey, like we should be doing this and this and this, and they're like, dude, I've been here for 6 years. We've done a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
We've tried to do a lot of stuff, and you come in all hot and heavy.
You got new ideas.
Like you're so brilliant. You're gonna crush it.
Yeah.
And I've scared people, and it's like, for me, I do think like time matters, loyalty matters.
Yeah, I think that thing you said earlier funny is when you're like, I have some ideas, like we've done it all. You're like, cool. Yeah. So I'm not as unique as I thought it was an hour ago when I walked in the door.
Just another asshole.
And then you have to filter through all that minutiae. You're like, okay, what idea can we do next then? Yeah. But I think that's funny. We're like, you start a new job, you're gung ho, and you have good ideas, but there's already things happening in front of you, so you have to fit into that kind of treadmill that's already going and get up to speed with what's happening on that.
Yeah.
And then to change things, you can't just walk and start throwing ideas. You got to see what's happening, either pull something out or change something. It takes a bit of time, and I think
you know what it is? It's occupational outrage.
Yeah.
You get in there and you think you're going to just turn the world upside down, and it's like you, once again, why not try keeping your mouth shut? Why not try listening for weeks and weeks and weeks?
Yeah. And
really getting some context, getting the lay of the land, meeting the players, figuring out everyone's motives.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's usually tough because people hire you because they need something from you immediately. So they don't, the chance to get in there and have that time, it's like when you're interviewing somebody for a story, the more time you have them is better for sure. But you usually have a deadline you got to hit if you're, you got to have that story done and written. So you got to give the guy an hour. The guy's like, an hour to meet you for lunch. Let's have a conversation. Yeah. And you got to write, 3 pages on the person.
No, you spend 45 minutes talking about like your lives, and then you're like, oh, I just need a quick quote.
Right.
And then that's.
Then you make it all up and send it back. So does this sound right? Like, yeah, cool.
Can I add this?
Yeah. I don't remember our conversation, but I wrote a story about you. I took your quote. Does it sound right? And like most people are like, yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, I occupational outrage. I get outraged.
When do you get outraged? Honestly, in the true definition of the word outrage, when's the last time you were outraged? Are you outraged about stuff going on in America right now? Are you outraged about anything in your life here in Whistler? Are you out? Like, where have you? When's the last time you freaked the fuck out?
Truly and meant it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. I think it's always for me to get a chuckle out of myself or something. I don't know.
That's not outrage.
No. I don't think I've actually been Well,
here we go.
maybe... Well, no, I don't know. Past jobs, leaving them, or like things. I was super outraged once. I had this job a few years ago, and we were throwing a party at a space that I worked at, and I was away. And I just couldn't really help plan the event, so we had some other people plan the event from our from the head office there, and just complete disregard for people that worked for me and the people in the space that they were in. And just it was all for what they wanted to get done.
Oh, like they were just using it.
Yeah, if I had been there, I would have planned the event, but I wasn't there. So I gave the people that I worked with at the head office the trust to get this place going and saying,
right,
I've got this place to a space we're going. Let's have a party. So they threw a party, and I got back from vacation the day that the party happened. Just I came back.
Yeah.
I spent 3 weeks in Croatia, just like hanging out, getting dying pretty much, like smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, not eating. And coffee, and then sleep on it. And so, anyway, I got back outside. I was
come back super clear.
Yeah, super clear.
Ready to deal with things emotionally.
Yeah, and then it just shit went sideways. It was bad. And so, I was outraged at that. I think. I won't get into tons of detail, but I think that's the way.
Did you express your outrage?
I was extremely outraged. Yeah, for sure. I freaked out.
Did you scare people?
No. I'm not looking to scare anybody. I think...
No, but sometimes it happens accidentally. I mean, I've done that.
No, I think I was outraged, but I was calm. I was like, this. Because I know it's going to solve the problem. I mean, it's getting outraged is fun. It's getting outraged is as fun as it is.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of a work thing, so I was outraged then. But I don't know other times. I think it's small outrages, but I think it's a burst.
Can you have a small outrage?
I think it's just recreational.
Is that recreational?
I think it's recreational. I think I try to just give myself something to do by getting mad.
But is recreational outrage the response to a life where this is pretty.
It's an unfulfilled life. It's a thing you haven't seeked out.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing? What are you not doing in your life? What is not fulfilling in your life that you can get worked up about some of the stupid little things that people freak out about? Like, there's a lot going on in the world right now that's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we are these, I feel that we are willing participants in this ridiculous 24-hour news cycle about, honestly, not much is going to be different 5 years from now than it was 5 years ago. Honestly. I mean,
right.
Not, and as I think
right.
we're mostly all moving in the right direction here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so easy to get you going. I don't mean you personally, but whoever I'm talking to.
Right.
If I just mention Trump, Kavanaugh, or Me Too, or anything, right? Now, all these things, these aren't recreational outrage. It's the responses daily to the things we're being fed that is recreational. It is right to be upset about these big issues. It is bizarre to get so worked up about headlines in the news every day, all day, in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
Just stop and listen.
I think that's a fair statement. I also think that's all. It's there's a generalization. I think there's smaller pockets of recreational outrage that are happening. People don't go enough of this in the lunchroom after they've read Trump.
Yeah.
They don't throw the paper up in the air and
but they do on social media. They don't do it in the lunchroom, right?
Yeah.
You say shit on Twitter that you would never say in the lunchroom. Where you're like, Trump's a piece of shit.
Well,
and he should go. And you would never say that amongst mixed company. I do, but
I don't know. I think I think should the U.S. policies impact us and the U.S. presidency impacts us, but we barely talk about our own stuff going on up here.
Yeah, but people that trade out any leader for the next. You could say Trudeau. It doesn't matter. It's the way people say it. It's always the worst. Everything's always the worst, and there's never any context. It's always leader A is screwing the country, and we're all gonna this is the end. And you're like, no, this is just another day in your life.
I mean, yeah, it's hard. I wonder, you think about what's happening and the impacts it's happening on us right now and the future impacts, unless it changes. And I'm not just talking about environmental. I'm just talking about the policy changes between the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah.
And the impact it has long term. I don't know what they will be. And is ignorance bliss? Should I know more and try to be outraged about what I kind of know? But I think that we're just quickly we get outraged fast because we know the next thing's coming to be outraged about. We have to say it right away.
I guess I don't feel like I'm not advocating for ignorance or for not being in touch or not. I am advocating for not looking at social media and the news every day. People think, I don't know where we got this idea that we need to be looped in all the time. Like, for some reason, if you get this conversation at a dinner party, people will say to you, oh, well, you're not being a responsible citizen if you're not reading the news or watching the news. And I'm like, you understand the news is paid for by advertisements. It's owned. And I'm not going conspiracy theory here. I'm just saying, like if you want to get woke in the parlance of our times.
Yeah, like Boxer says.
Read a book. Read a book that was researched for years. Don't read the daily news, what someone said today to provoke. Get your fucking context. And I'm saying that, like, I mean, I know, like, I'm recreationally outraged right now at people that are half-assing their knowledge.
Right.
The news doesn't teach you anything.
I think let me jump in here. I think what's happening is people, so I do it too, but trying to be the news and then saying, wait, maybe, like, I want attention. So if I'm outrageous and I get mad at things, people give me attention because I can get like that. It's this whole dumb
part of the identity.
Yeah, and it's like the whole like mob mentality thing. I think that's where it goes back to something very simple. Everyone's been talking about for years, is the mob mentality. So if I jump on Twitter, which is ripe with just shit, people jump on it. Like, yeah, I agree, or fuck you, or whatever else, right? So they get the attention. So it's not so much about the news they want to share and say I'm mad about this. It's the fact that they think that they can get the response back and engage because they haven't tried to fulfill another part of their life that makes them more excited. They don't worry about the shit.
So inherently, these people that you're talking about,
or us, generalized, sure, probably not very many people.
No, but even us, like, just by doing this, by buying mics and a mixing board and some software, we have, or you have, and because I'm here, I'm an accessory. We think that people care what we say. I'm a writer. Inherently, it has to come with a sense of ego, because if you do it for a living, you have to assume someone wants to read what you have to say. So
it's true,
right?
Yeah,
so people are like, oh, like, I'm going to put this on a tweet, right? Yeah. And I'm going to say this, and just the very fact that you did that means you think people care what you have to say. And that inherently leads to the way you lead your life. What if you didn't broadcast any opinions? What if you didn't have, like, I want less opinions.
Nothing would change. I mean...
Nothing would change. Well... Nothing would change. And nothing changes because you tweet.
No, but, okay, yeah, I agree with you. And then we had this whole, like, double-edged fork, where it's like... this double-sided spoon.
Yeah, I'm really weary of this.
Yeah, the double-sided spoon. This is how the marbles fold, man. So, I heard so much of this on the marbles unfold. I was watching a skateboard competition, and I guess this is how marbles unfold, and I was like, this is how the cookie plays out, you know? Yeah. These are the cookies you're dealt, you know? Like, I think all these, anyway, I don't know where I was going with that shit. What are we talking about?
I'm just talking about the way that...
social media tweeting. Yeah.
So, or more like the sense of self, that ego. And ego is not a bad word. We all have it. Egotistical is a bad word, but ego, like, we inherently think that people care what we think.
Okay, so
why?
What the thing is like, so when things do change and people do create change en masse, they get together and they create change. There's someone with an ego who started that, and someone with another ego who jumped on board, either followed with a smaller ego and jumped on board. And so that's when things can get built up, when you get a movement and things change. But I guess we think it's funny, and I think it's entertaining to pick individuals out and go, what are you talking about? What are you saying? But, like, I think the idea, if it was done properly, would motivate and change things faster. But right now, people are jumping on board just to bitch and complain about things that they aren't informed on, which is spreading this kind of anger thing, which is not changing things. It's just creating a mob that has no effect.
But, okay, so just to be contrarian here.
Sure.
We in history, there's been these mass revolutions, right? It's this like, collection of people, usually following a leader, usually charismatic, and he has an idea or she has an idea, and everyone like gets momentum, right. And then it changes something. Now, when it changes something for the positive, when we end up with gay marriage, or we end up with women's rights, or we end up like this civil rights movement in general in the States, say. Yeah. that's a fantastic thing, and we all high five each other. We congratulate each other so amazingly. And just for just to explore it, the people that are gathering behind the leader and behind the movement, are they any different at a psychological level than the people that are gathering behind the negative movements? If it's a mob mentality, is it? And I know the easy.
You mean you pick a side?
I know the easy answer here, but I want to look at the harder answer, which is if you're just getting behind a cause and you are just going for it, and these days going for it means liking and retweeting.
Yeah,
you're going for it.
I do it. I'm guilty.
Are you any different than the people that are getting behind? Lately,
I think you're different by influence. You're different by the way you're brought up. So I think it's not about whether your passions are different or your motivation's different. Well, your motivation is different because you're motivated to get a different outcome. But I feel like, are you different? Just in opinions, but as a person, your enthusiasm could be the exact same of some opinion compared to mine being the exact same of a different opinion. So I think, and my actions and my outrage towards whatever that opinion is that I have is different than yours. But we could be the exact same style of person, just with different opinions.
Yeah.
So I think some people are the same. I think that's like either side of the coin could be the same. But some people are just doing it. This is all generalization, but some people just do it because they want to get the fight going. And if they see that one side's the underdog, or they have some kind of attachment to something that is more linked to the one side or the other side. Maybe getting too vague and just confused.
Yeah, that we are getting really vague, but I just want to bring it back to I work in a non-profit world of conservation, saving the world, saving the whales, saving everyone. Yeah. It's inherently left wing, if you want to put it labeled politics. I'm inherently left wing if you put down on paper my beliefs or my issues that I don't want to be concerned with.
Right.
And then so immediately I'm
listening.
Everything's polarized and divisive. Grab me a beer too.
Sure.
And everything's like it's all about which side you're on, right? But increasingly, I'm done with the side. I'm done with the left. They're as bad as the right, and a lot of them blindly join the fight, just the same way that a conservative guy blindly holds on to his old beliefs that his grandpappy taught him. And I think that both sides are brutal, right? It's just everyone. Is there fault in being moderate? And as everyone gets older, they tend to lean towards the middle again.
Well, you start to think that your voice is more. You're like, I spoke my voice back in the day, and you become just more like content to be who you are and what you're doing in your own life as you get older. I think that's why you stop talking.
I think
so.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I don't know. I hope that my love for just talking with anything without trying to have a bias or trying to feel like someone pushing an opinion is strong forever, because I feel like the art of conversation and storytelling, you're going to have some influence in the way you describe things and everything else. But
your bias shows.
Yeah, you're always right. Yeah, but
you can hide it, and a good storyteller will.
Sure, yeah.
But it will pop out.
It'll pop out in a bit there. But I think that as you get older, you just start to go out, well, some people still charge and go, oh, it's not like, well, I like 5 years, 10 years left, whatever else,
Yeah. I turned 40 this year. If you look at the national median average for a male, it's 73.
Yeah. Is the day you pass away.
It's 33 years left.
Oh, shit.
Now, I'm crazy healthy and super happy, so I'll end up being probably 90 or 103 or something. So I got some time, but I'm halfway there. And when you think about that, I do think about that. I have a kid now. I've gone there. I'm like, hey, there's not much time left. I've had a good 40. There'll hopefully be a 40 more. But it went fast and it will go fast again. This isn't dire end of days shit I'm talking about. It's just acknowledging that getting worked up about an earthquake in Chile or a tsunami in Indonesia does not serve my purpose. I'm not saying I don't send empathy to that.
Right.
I'm saying right now in my backyard, there's people dying of all sorts of stupid shit.
Government.
I'm not saying watch after your own. I'm saying affect what you can affect. If you're so concerned about what's going on overseas, go there.
Oh, right. And
I'm not saying that to shit on anyone's causes. I'm saying that to be be as effective as you can
in the cause you believe in.
Or just where you can in life. how will you be the best person you can be? Living my best life.
Oh, God.
How
Okay, that ends our podcast, everyone. Mike's a piece of shit and just dropped the worst.
Namaste.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So blessed.
Yeah.
So no, but I do think like in finding out what our purpose is.
Yeah.
Is I want to make sure that I'm happy, and to be happy, I want to have purpose. You need purpose.
Right.
So why would I choose my purpose to be something on the other side of the world where I literally never go there?
Yeah.
Saving tigers.
Sure.
You know, like instead of saving whatever it is in your backyard.
But a lot of people don't try to serve just that one passion purpose. They just try to get and jump on everything that comes up, and they start yelling about it. So they don't serve They don't serve.
Yelling doesn't serve anyone.
Well, it serves food at a restaurant. We're like, order up. Like, that would serve. You yell that out. But that's about, I think, how it serves.
What restaurants do you go to?
I don't know. The ones where they're like...
when you walk in the door and some Japanese gets yelled at you? I like that. I like that about sushi restaurants.
They yell at you.
When you come in the door, and they say... I think they say... No, they'll do it in Vancouver, too. Like, they'll say welcome or whatever they say. I don't even know what they're saying. I'm assuming they're saying welcome.
Konnichiwa?
It's not konnichiwa.
What does that mean? Say hello?
Konnichiwa is, I don't know.
Arigato gozaimasu means thank you very much, right? Or
whatever they do.
Sorry, yeah.
When you walk through the door, they say it loudly so the whole restaurant can hear it.
Oh, then they acknowledge you. They're like, hey, then they're like, hey, what's up, Mike? Yeah.
And it's an awesome custom because you know when you walk into a restaurant and it says, please wait to be seated, and you stand there and you wait for a host or a hostess to come get you, and you're like, and it's lonely and it sucks and you want to be welcomed in. I love that when someone's like, they're more or less saying like, hey up.
Yeah, what guy?
Like, welcome.
Yeah, what guy?
White sushi lover.
Yeah.
But it's really welcoming. It's cool.
Double prize.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you know what I think? I think that's very good of you to say out loud. I think, I don't know where we were going, man, but I think...
We're not going anywhere.
When I walk into a restaurant...
do you want to be ignored, or do you want someone to come to the back of the table?
I never know how I feel. I'm kind of like...
Because some people just want to be left alone.
Yeah, it's like, where do you want to sit? I actually go, where do I want to sit? I want to sit there.
You want to be part of the process.
Kind of, but I'm like, where I sit doesn't fucking matter. Like, really, unless I'll sit by the window. I don't sit by the kitchen usually. I don't sit by the kitchen.
Sucks.
Yeah. By the window in a restaurant, that's fine. I like sitting in the dead center. Like, I've been to like Pizza Antico in the Village. It's like right in the center of the table, right in the center of the restaurant. There's like this table, like a 2-person table. Yeah. I've had that like 3 times. I've been there like 10 times.
And so you're a focal point?
Yeah, like it's like me and you sitting at this place right now. Yeah. And there's 80 people sitting around this in like groups, like eating, and you're like, your table's like kind of wobbly, and there's like the server's like just getting around you because you're in like the migration path, like where they go back and forth around the restaurant. And so at that situation, I don't have a choice.
Yeah, but I think it could be fun too. If you're a certain type of person.
It's kind of fun. Yeah, I guess
that's not me. That's not me. I want to hide. Right?
I'm in the middle. Sometimes I want to hide. Sometimes I want to fucking break out to be like,
Let me ask you this. What is the single worst experience you've had in a restaurant?
In a restaurant, single worst experience?
In a Whistler restaurant. So how would we go there?
Oh, that's hard. Well, I don't know if it's
why do you shit where you eat? Right now?
I have a story. It's not quite because the restaurant sucked. But the job that I do in the wintertime, I've had some pretty horrible experiences. How do I say this without getting myself in trouble?
You're a snitch.
I'm a snuffleupagus shopper. That doesn't make any sense. I'm a secret shopper that goes around and just secret shops and then takes notes on stuff. And so
businesses in town.
Well, more just like restaurant stuff. Yeah. But don't look at this video.
Snitch.
You're a snitch. Yeah, I'm a fucking snitch. So when I'm on snitch patrol, I've had some pretty, but I'm also looking for it, right? But it's also heightened my experience in other restaurants when I go in there. So I'm like, well, what are the service standards that I would expect to see when I go into these places? And so I think I've had some shitty food. I've had like inattentive service or inattentive, like they're not around. Yeah. Like no service. It's like Rogers.
They're not inattentive.
Like Rogers Seltzer, like no service, only the server version. Yeah. And
the human version of Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers. Yeah, they're not around. They don't work. Yeah. They're over playing pool with their other guests, which actually happened. I was at a restaurant in Creekside. It's old school. It's been around for a long time. It used to be a trailer. I think it was the original base of Whistler. But I don't need to put the name of it in there. But our server was playing pool with the other, and I was like, "Where's my fucking bill?" So I had to ask the server, or the busser. I was gonna say bus driver. So I don't know how he's a bus driver. He might be, but the busser. I'm like, "Hey man, can I get my bill?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he goes and tells her, and then I like, "Cool." And then she's like, "Back to the game," and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure she's just sewer balling all night."
She doesn't care.
No,
you remember times you've quit jobs or you were on your way out the door?
Yeah,
I've never like blown it at the end like that. That's not my style. But you understand why sometimes you're like, that was the worst service I've ever had, and you're like, yeah, that person probably quit that day or hates their boss, or maybe they were up all night doing drugs. You don't know the situation.
Oh yeah,
right?
I don't know any situation.
It doesn't matter though. They represent the business and stuff.
And I have to pass judgment at a certain point because I have to be one who goes back.
Nothing wrong with that. Judgment's fun.
Oh, well, yeah. I do it all the time. That's probably the worst. I don't know.
Worst?
That's one of the ones that I remember. I don't know if it's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably had worse. I've never had like anything like poorly cooked. I found hairs in my food, and
people have hair.
Taco. Yeah, and
that doesn't bother me that much. But I'm gross, maybe.
Like, well,
if someone has hair and your hair falls out.
If you do this, and it's like in your throat. That's fucking gross.
Disgusting. But
if you find it first, you're like, cool. I found it first. Thank.
No.
Not the G man, just thank something, thank everything.
The G man,
God. I don't say thank God.
Why? Are you worried that someone will think you're spiritual?
I don't.
You know, in Silicon Valley, where it's like smoking Silicon Valley is almost as bad as being a Christian. That's what Erlich Bachman's character says. That
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a hilarious show. It's hilarious.
I've seen it, but I don't know who's Erlich Bachman.
He's T.J. Miller's character.
Oh, right.
But there you go. There's a bad human. That's a shitty human.
Oh, fuck. Is it? I don't really know a story. He did something really bad?
Yeah. He got into a tiff with a woman on a train.
Is it rape or no?
No.
Just assault?
No, neither. He, I guess it's a form of assault. He got into a tiff with a woman on a train or at a train station. And she got on a different train than him. And he was drunk. And he called in a bomb threat from her. He said, "I'm on this train," and he said, "I saw this woman, and she's got a bomb, and blah blah blah." So he's looking at 3 to 5 years. He probably won't do it.
That's mischief, right? Like criminal, isn't it? What is it called? Like mischief, or is it? Is there a thing called calling in a bomb threat? Isn't that like a?
It's being a douchebag.
No, it doesn't say on paper being a douchebag. It's got to say like. It says like a misdemeanor or like public mischief.
Sure, whatever it is, it's huge. Like it's yelling fire in a crowded theater. That whole thing.
Do you think it's worse than if he had tried to assault her?
Worse. What do you mean? Like beat her up
or whatever? Well, physically, anyway. Sexually, physically.
He endangered more than her life. He endangered her life, but he endangered more. She could have got shot.
Of course.
But the whole train
so I
could have ended up in a terrible situation.
Right, sure.
But the better or worse, not my place to judge. But he also, like, there's rumors from the Silicon Valley set that, like, there was one of the female
he's an asshole.
Actors that, no, he's an asshole.
Is he?
Across the board, when people talk about
it. Well, that's the way his character is. He kind of is funny that he's an asshole.
He plays it well, right? Yeah. And his stand-up's not that great, but his characters are. They're amazing, right? Yeah. But like, one of the female actors from Silicon Valley, when he got fired, she went on. She spoke out, and she didn't just talk about him. She talked about the rest of the male cast too.
Oh, wow.
And said that there was an era of the standard stuff that's going around right now on the set, and I was like, oh wow, because they make fun of it in the show. They're making fun of Silicon Valley being way too sexist. Yet, even on that show, behind the scenes, this female actor felt threatened. So think about it. It's like meta on meta on meta. It's pervasive. Right. This shit's everywhere, right?
It is everywhere.
Not to get heavy. I know this is a heavy topic.
No, I think it's...
I actually try to avoid it because I'm scared of it. I think everyone's scared of this topic right now.
Well, I mean, even last night, Jerry talked about it, Jerry Seinfeld. And I'm not taking this... I'm obviously not taking this up, but he talked about him. He's like, we're all on pins and needles here. We're all like... I mean, I don't know. I mean, when you say all, like... I'm like in the entertainment industry. I get what's going on here. Like, I don't...
You're not under threat.
Yeah.
But talking about it is...
Talking about
it's loaded.
It's loaded because
right?
I think that it's hard to understand everyone's feelings around it, and people who I may know, you may know, have been things that we don't know about.
Yeah, exactly.
And we talk about it. It can make them uncomfortable and then feel like that we are being aggressive towards the situation in general. just by talking about it,
or making jokes about it. So,
and I think like
that can trigger shit.
It is bad, and I think people talk about jokes and comedy and stuff, and like how like you got to make light of situations so people can get through them. And I think you do, but there's like it's fucking serious, man. It's like bigger than most people will think, and I think that it's just been like I mean it's generations deep right now. Like,
we don't have a lot of time here because I assume we're not going over an hour.
I don't know, but we can do whatever we want.
I guess we can just splice this too because I want to revisit that because. I agree.
We can keep talking. I mean,
was it comedy was tragedy plus time?
Yeah, a comedy equals tragedy plus time.
Yeah, but there's a real and Hannah Gadsby touches on this in her stand up.
Yeah,
there's a real question to be asked there. That's so true that we need to make fun of stuff to get through them, to work our way through them.
Right.
But who gave you the keys to do it?
Oh, well,
who gets and everyone wants to democratize all this and be like, hey, anyone can do it. This is freedom of speech.
No, I don't.
People love freedom of speech. They want to go off about it, and I agree. You're allowed to say anything you want, but I'm also allowed to hate what you say. And in this sort of case, who gets to make it? Who gets to take this very delicate, very sensitive situation and make light of it so that we work our way through it? Is it like? Do we as white people get to do it to First Nations? No. The First Nations get to do it.
Yeah.
That they get to.
If you suffered it, you can make fun of it.
Yeah.
If you haven't and you haven't been a part of it, you can't authentically. And it's either better be very clever with insightful thoughts on what you think about the situation or how it's happening.
You got to be on point.
Yeah. I mean,
it can be done. People do it.
And I think it's very fun to talk about stuff as long as you're open and honest with how you feel about it and like and what your point of this conversation is. So for us right now, it's more just like talking about ideas and not very pushing our opinions on things. It's more just like, what do we see out there and how do we feel it is? And I think that's where people don't talk about that much. They either shut down or they yell and scream about it.
That's really, I like that because I often find when this stuff starts cropping up in conversation and you're in a mixed group and it starts to feel, I don't want to say antagonistic, but it's like you're starting to see two sides form in a room.
Yeah, it's tough.
And at that point, I always want to be like, I know this stuff can hit nerves really easily, but how at that point, I've never figured it out. How do you calm that conversation down and get it back to we're just talking about ideas?
Maybe it might not be your task.
You're not the referee.
Yeah. Right. You're never the referee. I mean, if you're in there throwing stuff around, words around, throwing your opinions around, someone might be the referee in the room and they're an authority on you. You deserve to get whatever the referee decides to put on you.
Yeah.
But
if you're all in the social contract for that.
Sure, yeah.
But totally. You are. If you're at a dinner party and everyone's having the conversation and you've elected to be a part of it, that's a social contract.
Yeah. Unless you just sat back and like not voiced your opinions. You're not even the referee or the participant. You're just kind of an observer.
And I know it's impossible for me because I spent most of my life yelling opinions really loudly. Yeah. And as I get older, I just speak about them a bit quieter.
Right.
But what I said earlier, I mean, like I really don't want to have as many opinions about this stuff. And I want to sit and listen and take notes and go home and read on the subjects based off of the opinions I hear.
Right.
Because I'm sick of trying to take a side. And I mean, and that's why I mean, like left and right. I don't want anyone, like, I want to just sit in the middle and listen for a good fucking
When
10
you
years.
think about left and right, when your thoughts of left and right come along,
sure.
Is it an inherent thing you think about Canada or you think about the U.S.? What do you think about, what's your, when you think about left and right, what's your first, what's your base for that? What's like?
And of course, these are generalizations.
Sure, of course.
You should not quote me on these.
But left and right, is it political? Is it like
it's ideology?
It's ideology, right?
And I think that the right is looking for they want things to be simple and clear and good in their lives,
right?
And they see the solution for that. I think in staying the way it's been and with small changes, right?
Right.
The left wants things to be progressive. They want to move forward. At least that's what they say.
Yeah.
And so they push and they push and they push. And often they're a little bit, they go a bit hard. But their goal is the same. I think their goals are the same. Everyone wants the same shit. They want to be loved. They want family and friends to be safe. They want, they speak a lot. There's a lot of bullshit out there about freedom and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm talking about. And those, and that shit's like, it's fine if you follow it and you support it, but as soon as you spout the rhetoric and you don't actually follow it, then it's bullshit. But I think both sides, I don't think they're as different as they think. But if you want to really boil it down, I'm trying to avoid the generalization here.
Sure.
But here's what it is. The left wants to change shit quickly and in big ways, and the right wants to keep it as it is, or even in some cases turn it back because they're more comfortable with the way it is.
Well, because we know history, we know what it's like, we know where we've been. It's hard to figure out what will happen if we change something drastically.
Yeah, but that's I just did a vast generalization.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not holding you against it. I mean, you're a bit of a dick, but I'm not going to hold you against it. I'm not going to hold you against it. I'm not going to hold it against you. I don't follow political.
I'm weary of this.
I don't follow weary about what I'm about to say. Worry. Yeah, I'm leery. I think you'd say I'm leery of this.
I'm Larry of this.
Yeah, Larry. Politicalness, I don't know. I don't really.
I want no politics.
I don't really follow. I don't know what's going on. Like, I feel like I watch, and I kind of get the, bit of outrage about dumb things. I don't really talk about it much, and I don't feel like I don't know enough about politics to say things, and I feel like I have like a heated opinion about something. It's very shallow in politics. So I'm like,
I think everyone is. Most
I'm like, what? He said that, and I'm like, actually, I don't know what he said before that. So why would I? I don't know what he said to him first. So
look at the Kanye stuff.
I don't. I stopped.
But Kanye, they cherry pick his three sentences of him sound like a raving lunatic.
Sure. Yeah.
And you listen to the whole speech, and the guy is spouting about love and acceptance and opening up dialogue. I know he's mentally ill, or I suspect he is, but he's an insanely talented guy who's trying to make inroads. Him wearing that hat is bullshit. Like, he wore "Make America Great."
Oh, is he a fan of Trump?
He's a fan of Trump. Yeah. And
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
These blueberries are fantastic, by the way.
Yeah. So he's a fan of Trump, and that is the full stop, like, non-starter for most people. Oh, you're a fan of Trump? He's now an idiot. They also don't like a black man speaking loudly. That's a huge thing in America. Right, he's very confident about what he has to say, and he's, George Bush hates black people. He said that on SNL. He's really been outspoken, and people don't want that. He is mentally ill. He's arrogant as hell, but you gave him the fucking stage, and you don't want him to say the things he said on stage at SNL. We're like, we need to stop making snap decisions, sort of thing, and like. Let's talk about love and discourse and opening up lines of communication. I'm like, yeah, but he shouldn't have just wore the hat. Just don't wear the hat.
Right, the hat's fucked up.
But he's gonna run, I think, and so it's all a PR campaign in its own way too, right?
See, I just find it funny that I think this is like, we do know more about American politics. We just jump into it, It's because it's so much entertainment value, good or bad, right or wrong. It's just entertainment value.
Bad, wrong.
I don't think. We need more corrupt money in the Canadian in news industry. We need more of it, though, so we can see.
CBC's not as clean as one thinks.
No, of course not. Man. Yeah, they're reusing toilet paper down there. But like, I think it's like a. I just don't think we hear enough about what's happening here. We do hear about it, but it's not like It's like scandal. Like
it's there if you want it.
Yeah, well, that's why we need more money in investigation. We need more. If we want to get better news and more like America's style news, we need like more anger and more people to dig in to get dirt.
No, I disagree.
No, I don't want that either. I'm just kidding. But
can we take a break? I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, there? You can go to the bathroom. Sure, it happens all the time. Yeah. I'm just
several times a day. Or should we keep rolling? Do you want me to take?
I can keep rolling. Sure, man. Well, if we stop, what are we gonna do? I gotta stop the video. I gotta stop it all. I don't know what I'm doing.
One of the things that's interesting is that you said was. We don't know what we're talking about, or maybe we're not well versed on it. No one is. No one is. They think they are because they watch the news. You're not. Most people have not done the reading,
right?
Including us.
Yeah.
Yet we're all very comfortable with spouting our opinion as loudly as we can, and we never pick the middle. We pick this side or this side, and then we get lit up. And I just think that it's okay to acknowledge I don't know. That's the right answer. Almost always. I'm not sure. I'd like to hear more about that.
If you say you're not sure, then you're not willing to follow up. Is that a fault? If you say I don't know, and you're not willing to learn more,
that is that is a pretty toxic sort of place to start from.
If you acknowledge that you don't know,
no, that's fantastic.
And then you say, but
people think that's weak. Some people think that's weak to say you don't know. Some people feel weak if they have to acknowledge that they don't know. It is strength to say I am not sure. I probably need to read more on that. What is your opinion? That's like the high road. You're wrong. Gotta watch words I use. You know the words that we use?
The high road?
No, it was the one I didn't say. They're like offside words that you use. We've talked about this a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you know that someone might be hearing, Like, Allie said it to me. My wife said it to me the other day. She's like, if people heard you talk in the backyard, they would think you're a dumb redneck.
Yeah, they would put a gun over their fence.
And I'm like, that made me think, because recently we've had houses built near our backyard. And
right.
I'm like, oh.
Well,
like,
in your voice echoes.
Yeah, pretty loud.
Yeah.
But it's important,
echo.
right? Yeah, I hope not.
I'm just joking. No, I keep interrupting you, but no, I agree. Like, you have these conversations, and people, like, I think that they're talking to their friends, and they try to have, like, I think confidence, a bit of, like, like posturing puts people in a bad position without them knowing it. And sitting in a backyard making a joke about, like, an out of context joke about
something offside. You don't even need to say
offside.
that.
Yeah, let's just say generally. We're speaking in generalities here a bunch. Let's just keep it general. It's not that offside. To get a laugh, and the neighbor just comes out to,
hanging out, and they hear you say,
put some burgers on his barbecue, and you're like,
vaguely sexist, vaguely racist, vaguely xenophobic,
or you're like, I can't believe people say, and then he walks out when you say what you can't believe people say, and you're like,
I thought about that. It's like, the N-word. You're not allowed to say N-word. We're white. You gotta say N-word, right? It's like, but when you're talking about the context of using the word, I was like, we've all chosen to not say it, right? And that's fine. But it's like when you're talking about the language of the word, it's your neighbor comes out and hears that. That's why you don't say it. It's because as soon as you say it,
well, it's because
how do you say it without sounding racist?
The thing that sucks is that we know everyone jumps to conclusions. We know everyone just doesn't worry about context.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, I don't even want to talk about these words.
No,
these words, but
right? See, this gets uncomfortable.
I know, well, because we're going to put this in a public forum.
I know, but that's the point.
It's weird because
too many people they want to say this, or they want to say free speech. So you say you're allowed to say it, or there'll be people over here being like, you're not allowed to say anything ever. And then we're in the middle being like, just talking about the idea of what it's much more.
Right.
It's a much more evolved way of talking about it rather than picking a side.
Well, picking the middle is like picking a side, right? Like you just decide that you agree with a lot of different things.
Well, no, because the middle is like the full spectrum.
Well,
I'm not talking dead center.
Right.
I'm just talking like you're not polarized.
No, but picking a side and then picking the middle is still picking.
Yeah, I think I'm saying I'm picking to listen.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's safe. I think that makes sense.
I'm picking to listen.
Everyone should pick at that. I mean, listening. There's like the whole saying. There's like hearing and listening. They're two different things, right?
Right.
And so I'm listening, but I don't hear you. But I hear you. I'm not listening. It's like I don't know which one comes first, like chicken or the egg. Yeah.
If we don't know, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like if there wasn't,
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
You know what? There's a lot of wasted words and a lot of wasted energy on this.
I'm audio receiving.
Do you know what I'm talking about? There, done. You don't use the wrong word, weary, but people know what you mean. You're fine. You got there.
If you are, imagine like you're trying to get your point across and you use the word like irregardless, or you use like words that don't.
For all intents and purposes.
Yeah, like supposedly.
Yeah.
Or just supposedly, for all intents and purposes. How does that saying go? For all intents and purposes?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for most of my life, said intensive purposes.
I said that. That's so.
I probably still do.
That is. But you're blending it together. You know the words separate, but you're blending it together.
I didn't know they were separate. For a long time, I just didn't know. I was just regurgitating the phrase.
Right.
Which is like, for all intensive purposes,
Intensive. What, is that even a word?
Like those purposes are super intense.
Is intensive?
Yeah, intensive's a word. Like,
sorry,
like if you're going through an intensive.
So like for all these purposes, they're so intense.
You're like this. You're putting everything into it, right? And it's like this is the purpose. It's like then you have intense and purposes, meaning like
all needs, and
which is also a stupid thing to say because intense and purposes may as well be synonyms.
Well, no, the intent of something and the purpose of something is different. Like
my intent is my purpose. I mean, we can rip it apart with semantics,
I guess,
right?
yeah.
But really, I have an intent to play Cards Against Humanity all afternoon, and I also have a purpose.
At least you're not playing Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, I like that one.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you hate it.
Yeah, I don't want to trade wood for bricks or fucking hay for whatever. We're well beyond that.
You're reducing it to something pretty simple there.
Well, that's what it is. I don't know. Should we kill this?